Hello, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. I feel like I haven't sat in front of the camera in so long because ta-da! We just moved to a new house. And so this video is going to be about how you can best spend your summer. So we're gonna plan our summers together in this video. So feel free to like follow along. I'm gonna be planning my summer as well. It's almost gonna be like a do it with me, like come in this video with me type of deal. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, so first things first, I think it's important to take note of our context, so where we're coming from this summer. So for me personally, I'm moving to California, so I kind of did that, but my room is still a complete mess. It's also just so hot. Like California is so hot. I don't understand. Like it gets to like the hundreds during the day, but then at night it gets like 50s, and this is on Fahrenheit for international people, so it's like a huge temperature change. And right now is like 7 p.m. It's pretty bright outside. I had to close the curtains so that we could film this, otherwise it would be like white in your face. But it's actually like really hot right now, and I think that's making it harder to film. It's also the summer before college, so I know I'll be on the move a lot because Stanford is going on campus during the fall. And I think it's important to just note how there needs to be extra energy that goes into moving and getting ready for college. So depending on where you are, maybe you're starting high school or something else, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And then as you can see, we have our handy dandy notes on our laptop. So I'm just gonna kind of go off what I wrote there. So after you kind of recognize where you are at in your life this summer, we want to determine our focus for this summer. What is focus? Like it's so important for us to focus on something, but what is it going to be for you this summer? So for me, I came up with 5 main pillars and 5 sub pillars, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Maybe I'll create a worksheet or something and put it in the link in the description so you guys can follow along. So the main pillars are like the main like work areas. Like I'm going to work on this, and this. I'll give you examples in a sec. And then the sub pillars are like, these are like the areas of my life that I want to kind of keep in the back of my mind. I don't need to actively work on it, but it's something I want to prioritize. So let's first begin by finding 5 main pillars to focus on. Each one you want to list the time commitment, the specific goals you have within that area, and the system you need to accomplish that goal. My first main pillar is my internship. So I'm working a full-time internship, which is 10 hours per weekday, which adds up to 50 hours per week. So that is my time commitment. And my goal for that internship, it's a business development internship, so it's very business and marketing. So I want to sell our product to one major customer. And keep in mind that our customers here are banks, so every customer is quite a big deal. So every customer is a big deal, and I want to be in charge of, you know, landing a sale with a bank. I think that would be really cool. So that is my goal for this pillar of my summer. And how am I going to design a system that's going to help me achieve that goal? So this is what I came up with. I want to ask questions whenever they come up. This way I can gain expertise in tech and product management and like the best practices of the industry. So asking a lot of questions, that's a system. And when I talk about system, it's like not necessarily steps I need to do, but the system I need to design in my life to follow every single day. I'm also going to take on extra calls or extra emails, everything like that would help me toward this. This part of the system is more just taking initiative. And then lastly, I'm going to treat all failures as a growth experience. So if I just really embarrass myself or something on a sales call or through an email or just with a colleague, I'm going to treat that as a growth experience, not a failure. Okay, moving on to my second main pillar, that's going to be writing a book, which is forthcoming with New Degree Press in April 2021. So that's really exciting. This book is going to be about the future of education and the policies and technologies that we can use to create a better K-12 public education system, because as you guys probably know, our education system has some serious issues, and with everything happening with Black Lives Matter, like yeah, like education is definitely contributing to systemic racism and problems. So I personally didn't even like the K-12 education system. Like I honestly low-key hated high school, even though I was a very motivated student. And so I just see high school as something that's not designed well for high achieving students and not designed well for low achieving students either. So it's like, what what is good about high school right now? That's the question. So I think education needs serious reform, and it's kind of not talked about enough in the media. So I want to kind of do my part to do more research and publish that research. So that's going to take up a large chunk of my time. So this one is going to be 3 to 8 hours a week. I set this range because I think sometimes I might write more when my editor has a deadline for me, or I might practice less. I mean, not practice, I might write less when there's just less things to do. So my ultimate goal with this is to finish a 25K word manuscript by the end of the summer, and my system for achieving that goal would be to set aside 3 hours per week to consume content, learn, conduct interviews, and write. And of course that number of hours might go up, but my system is basically having a Google Calendar and following through. All right, third pillar is YouTube. So haha, hello. My time commitment is going to be 24 hours a week. So that's quite a lot. The 24 hours a week comes from me wanting to upload 4 videos per week. So that is my goal. I'm very embarrassingly failing at that right now for the past couple weeks. Like, a lot of you guys know that, but my goal is to do 4 videos per week on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, that's wrong. Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, no, I want to upload on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, wait, that's 5. What did I want to do? Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, that's 4. Okay, so that's the uploading schedule I'm shooting for. But basically, I just want to upload 4 times a week. Then every video takes me about 6 hours. Like, the filming part takes me about half an hour, but then the editing takes so long. So that's why it's 6 hours per video, and 6 times 4 is 24. So 24 hours per week. And then the system for achieving that is literally setting time aside on the Google Calendar and following through and just filming and editing. And I'll talk more about Google Calendar later in this video. Okay, so moving on to the 4th pillar for the summer, I want to write a book for you guys called How to Win High School. I posted this in the community tab asking if you guys wanted to, and there was a lot of enthusiasm coming my way. So I thought it'd be a good idea, and I honestly think I have a lot to share there. And I'm gonna make a future video asking you guys for like specific topics that you want me to cover, but I already have like 60 chapters lined up, and these chapters will be really short snippets, probably 2 to 3 pages, just on like a certain tip that you can put into your life to succeed in high school. So for that, it's gonna be a 3-hour per week time commitment, and my goal is to publish it by August 1st, and this will probably be an ebook on my website, irisfu.com, and then depending on how sales go, I will maybe publish it as a paperback so that you can find it on Amazon and other bookstores. But yeah, for now it's gonna be 3 hours per week, and I want to finish the manuscript by July 4th and publish it by August 1st. Yeah, that's really exciting. I hope you guys were excited about that as well. All right, 5th pillar for the summer is writing for my website. So if you guys don't know already, I have a website called irisfu.com, and it's like my blog, but I also want to use it as kind of this like content marketing strategy for my education book. I guess I need to clarify a little bit. For my education book, it's not going to be self-published. I have a publisher and an editor that I'm working with. So a really important factor to that is marketing and actually getting sales once your book publishes. So like this website is kind of be a build up to that, and I want to publish articles on like high school and college, and also just education policies in general. So everything related to the education system. I just want to write content, and that would also help me understand everything I'm researching at a deeper extent. The time commitment for that would be 3 hours a week, and my goal is to do 2 posts per week, and my system is once again gonna be just having the time set in Google Calendar and just doing it when the time comes. Okay, perfect. Those were the 5 main pillars. I hope you also jotted some ideas down for what your 5 main pillars can be. Keep in mind, I did spend about 1 to 2 weeks just thinking about this in my head. Goal setting is not just a 5-minute thing. I think it's really something you have to think about throughout your day and in the shower to really make sure that you have the right goals, because if you go in the wrong direction, you're doing yourself more harm than good. All right, so now let's move on to the sub-pillars. And by sub-pillars, you'll kind of get the gist of what I mean by them. So my first sub-pillar is a relationship. So I want to build a stronger relationship with my mom, my grandparents, my boyfriend, and other friends I have in my life. How I'm going to achieve this is through building a system. Notice how we don't have a time commitment here, because for sub-pillars, it's very free-flowing and it's in the backdrop of your life, whereas your main pillars are your main focuses. These sub-pillars, I just have a system for them. So my system is going to be 2 calls per week with my long distance boyfriend. We're doing long distance now, which is very sad, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So one of our calls is gonna be relationship batching, and this is something we heard from Tim Ferriss. It's basically where you sit down and you give each other feedback on what the other person is doing well, what you want more of, and how you guys can, you know, build a better relationship with each other. And then the other call of the week would just be for fun, life, catching up, everything. And then I also want to call my grandparents once per week and just try to go to the beach with my mom and hang out with her whenever possible. The second sub-pillar to my life is going to be health. So I want to focus on food and fitness, and the system is going to be working out for at least 15 minutes per day and just being conscious of what I digest. Third sub-pillar is learning. So this is reading books, just asking questions and being a curious person. So my system for this is just whenever I have a question, I'll ask it, and if there's anything that intrigues me intellectually, I'll search Google or I'll find a person who I can talk to about it. So how I did this in real life is, for example, in recent events, I had a lot of questions about our social issues and current policies, and so I had a lot of very knowledgeable friends, so I was very fortunate to be able to just send them a text and get on a call and have a discussion. All right, and then fourth sub-pillar for me is finance. So I'm 18 now, and I want to start managing my personal wealth and start investing, all the adulting things. This is less of a system. This is more like a to-do list. So number one, I need to set up my Roth IRA, which is a retirement account. Number two, I want to invest in Robinhood, which is an app that makes investing super duper easy, and I already started doing that. And then thirdly, I want to open a credit card, because you can only open a credit card after you're 18, and I have yet to do so, so we're gonna get on that. And then fifth sub-pillar is to start a product business. I read this article called How to Start a $1 Million Business in a Weekend, and I was very inspired by it because I was like, wow, it really does just take one weekend to start a business. The rest is just sales and marketing. I specifically picked a product business because products make for passive income streams, because if you think about it, the two types of businesses are product and service. And if you create a product, you can sell that same product infinite numbers of times. So you just create it once and then it creates passive income down the road. With services, you get paid every time you provide that service. So your income stream is more on a per time basis. So you have to keep providing that service, and so it's more of an active income stream. So I want to create a product so that I have a passive income stream, and the system for doing that would be getting a weekend and just creating that product. It sounds idealistic. I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes, but I truthfully don't have that much of an idea of what I'm gonna do for that. So let me know if you guys have ideas. So now, after you've determined your focuses for the summer, it's time for us to actually carve out time in our schedules to dedicate toward these focuses. What I usually do is I look at the time commitment. So you've already written this down for every main pillar that you have, the hours per week that you need. So what I usually do is I look at my schedule and I go in and I just add in the times that I'm going to work on that. So for example, for my book, I have 3 hours on every weekend morning. So that adds up to about 6 hours per week where it's a dedicated time to work on my book. And I will do that. And for YouTube, it's going to be every single morning from about 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. where it's dedicated time to just working on editing YouTube videos. So I have very set times in my schedule and I show up. So show up to your calendar, be accountable for yourself, get an accountability buddy if you have to. My boyfriend and I were accountability buddies, which is so cheesy. But what we do sometimes is we just send each other our goals for the day. So what we have to get done. And these are things that no one else is holding us accountable for but each other. And then at the end of the day, we kind of check back in and say what we've accomplished and what we haven't. And sometimes we haven't really done this, but I think other people, sometimes they like bet money. So like if you say you don't do this thing that you said you were gonna do, then you have to give the other person money. So that's pretty good incentive in my opinion. Carve out time in your calendar and show up when that happens. And a good tip for this is to set a reminder. I usually set a 10-minute reminder for all of my activities, and sometimes an hour or a day before as well. So multiple reminders for the scheduled time. Oh, and then also remember, to achieve great things, 2 things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. I also sent this out on my weekly newsletter last week. We created our plan, and hopefully you had a lot of focuses that you want to focus on and you feel like, oh my god, I don't have enough time for this. Well, guess what? That is the second magic ingredient to achieving great things. So it's okay. Not quite enough time is just what you need. Work hard in silence. Let your success be your noise. But can you focus, please? it's not focusing. That's okay. But yeah, I have this: work hard in silence, let your success be your noise. So that is a mantra or a quote that I live by. And then on my laptop screen, I have something that's very cute actually. It says, she believed she could, so she did. And then oftentimes I think in my head, I got this, I got this, I got this. And this is very powerful because you start believing in it. So have mantras. These are just things that you repeat to yourself and say them out loud to the mirror, or just think of it in your head whenever you're feeling stressed. You know, like even in a stressful environment, say you're in the middle of a math test and you can't quite solve that next problem, just think in your head, I got this, and you will. Oh yes, and then finally, for motivation, find a community of people who are like-minded that can be on this YouTube channel. So surround yourself with media content that will motivate you. Also surround yourself with people who will motivate you. Find an accountability buddy, or tell your parents about your goals and have them hold you accountable. All great ideas. Let me know if there are any other ideas for productivity, goal setting, and time blocking that you have. I think this is all I've got for you today. So subscribe and give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share this video with your friends who could become your accountability buddy. Until next time, bye.